Throughout this course, we're going to be opening a number of different images in different file types. When we're in Photoshop, we can always use the File and then Open command in order to use the operating system to open up our images. Here we can navigate to different folders, we can see inside of those folders, and certainly we can select our images and then click Open. However, I feel that it's a little bit slower and not nearly as visual rich of an experience as using Bridge. But most people don't know about Bridge. So I'm going to click Cancel here, return back to the File menu, and then select Browse in Bridge. Now, Bridge is a separate application that you can download and install as part of the Creative Cloud. Bridge does have a separate installer than Photoshop, so you will need to run that installer. If you haven't installed Bridge, please watch the video on installing Bridge in the Introduction section. Here you can see that when I double-click on a folder, I can see multiple images at once. I can click on an image and I see a larger preview in the preview area. If I switch to the folder area, you can see that it's very easy for me to navigate between folders. I can even click on the new folder icon in the upper right to create a new folder, and I can manage my images by dragging and dropping them between folders if I want to. For now, I'll leave this in the same folder. If I need to see additional information about my image, over in the metadata panel, there's a lot of detailed information about the camera settings, as well as the file size and other file properties and metadata. In addition, there's a filter panel and a collections panel, which will help me manage my larger volumes of images. If I want to open a file, I simply double-click on it to open it in Photoshop. If I want to close the file, I'll click on the X to close it, and if I want to return to Bridge, return back to the File menu, and then select Browse in Bridge. If I decide not to open a file from Bridge and want to simply return back to Photoshop, I'll click on the boomerang icon to move to Photoshop. Now, before we wrap up, I'll return to Bridge one more time because I need to tell you that if you're working along with your own exercise files and those files are RAW files, when you double-click on a RAW file in order to open it, it will launch Adobe Camera Raw. Here you could make manipulations to the image, and when you want to open it in Photoshop, you would click on Open Image. For more information about Adobe Bridge and Adobe Camera Raw, be sure to check out my Bridge CC Essential Training and Camera Raw Essential Training here on lynda.com. For now, I'll close the image without saving.